1. The critical role that nutrition plays. Hippocrates, whose writings are full of arguments in favor of wholesome diet, and who even said, "Let your food be your only medication," had the same conviction. The message was largely disregarded by his successors. And dietetics currently plays a minimal role in therapy.
First of all, because the principles of this diet are still fairly straightforward. Less salt in cases of arterial hypertension and heart failure, less protein in cases of chronic renal failure, less carbohydrate in cases of diabetes mellitus, less lipid in cases of hypercholesterolemia, and fewer calories in cases of obesity. And lastly, because these varied approaches focus on treating the effects of the disease, that is, its symptoms, rather than its causes. One exception is celiac disease, which can be treated by avoiding the trigger food, gluten.
Current conceptions of dietetics are above all based on the number of calories, on the carbohydrate, lipid, protein balance, and on an adequate intake of vitamins and calcium. Emphasize the importance of trace elements. However, it is well established that the various constituents of our body are gradually renewed over the years, and that the substances necessary for this renewal are drawn from our food. On the other hand, our cells draw the energy essential to their functioning from food. It is also necessary that it does not generate too much waste that will hinder the normal course of our metabolisms. The quantitative vision of nutrition must be replaced by a qualitative vision. The good health of our body being more important, it seems to me essential to determine which foods are suitable for us and which ones we must avoid.
2. The output of a few forerunners, both medical professionals and laypeople, have long promoted a wide variety of diets. Each researcher believes that the diet he has created has many benefits and has a positive impact on people's health. The primary diets put forth in our day were examined by Jiu, 1994, in a recent book. The results reported by the writers are frequently exceedingly dubious, and the scientific justifications offered for choosing one nutritional approach over another don't appear to hold up. From this group of pseudo-researchers, where both the wise and the dishonest shine out.
The importance of the intestine in good and bad health, the peril of heated foods, and the link between specific intestinal bacteria and chronic disorders were all emphasized by Edward Bach. Paul Carton is credited with coming up with the first approach to the incrustation and eradication processes. It is important to specifically mention Freyden and Kuzmine, Berger. From recent decades, the three have built a logical theory. All three of them have had substantial success. Berger, 1985, and Kuzmine, 1980, established a connection between two facts.
Modern man does not eat in the same way as earlier man. Some diseases that were formerly uncommon have now become commonplace. Therefore, it makes sense to eat more like our ancestors did in order to prevent or treat these diseases. The date on which the change in diet took place is what separates the two authors. For Kuzmine, it is the first few decades of the 19th century or the start of the industrial period.
It is in the start of the Neolithic era, 5,000 years ago, for Berger. Numerous medical professionals have confirmed Kuzmine's accomplishments. A few doctors and other trustworthy witnesses have attested to Berger's claims. The Western diet is dangerous and has been linked to a dramatic rise in so-called degenerative illnesses. According to Freyden, 1991a, Among other things, fatty diabetes, atherosclerosis, cancer, and autoimmune diseases. He created a hypoxic diet, which is frequently quite helpful for his patients. The three authors have the merit of creating nutritional strategies that are frequently successful. Already, it is a lot. Asterisk for Kuzmine. It is the first few decades of the 19th century or the start of the industrial period.
However, they have clarified some of the ways via which the modern diet acts as an intervention. Asterisk Kuzmine has amply demonstrated the peril of industrial methods for product preparation, the prevalence of intestinal porosity, and the frequent deficiency in vitamins, minerals, and polyunsaturated fatty acids. All of these justifications, though, are incomplete. It lacks a grand design. We'll see that there's a lot more ground to cover in this regard. Asterisk Berger developed the hypothesis that some modern foods are incompatible with human enzymes. Asterisk Freyden has linked lack of omega-3 fatty acids, high heat cooking, dairy products, cooked cereals, and lipophilic pollutants to disease.
3. The annoying puzzles in medicine. Medicine remained uninformed and ineffectual for many ages. Before 1940, aspirin, heparin, insulin, and digitalis were among the few truly helpful medications that were quickly discovered. The majority of discoveries have only recently been made. The number of biological tests has increased, the variety of medical imaging has greatly expanded, organ and tissue transplants are now a common procedure, and the drug arsenal has significantly increased thanks to the development of antibiotics, corticosteroids, immunosuppressants, anti-inflammatories, and other medications. Biology molecules also locate and characterize gene structures.
The announcement of these significant developments has been widely covered by specialized journals, newspapers, and television. The commenters are typically overly positive and full of admiration. The results of ongoing research and experimental medications are offered as final answers. How often have we been promised that all cancers will be treated or that AIDS will be prevented, yet the promises have never been kept? The truth is considerably less bright. As a matter of fact, Westerners now live longer on average. The following reasons play a major role in this good development. Asterisk significantly lower newborn mortality as a result of gynecological and pediatric advancements. Asterisk thanks to immunizations and medications, there has been a significant decrease in mortality from bacterial and viral infections.
The surgical rescue of a large number of patients. For example, among many others, we rarely pass away from strangulated hernias or appendicitis. The effectiveness of specific medications in specific circumstances, such as radiotherapy and chemotherapy for Hodgkin's illness or synthetic antithyroid medications for Graves' disease. But even if people live longer on average, many of them have health problems. Some ailments that were once unusual or extraordinary have increased in frequency significantly. Obesity, advanced diabetes mellitus, Crohn's illness, asthma, and in a sense, allergies and general illnesses. The prevalence of degenerative diseases is rising. Numerous people suffer from osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, and the cardiovascular disorders caused by atherosclerosis. Cancer now kills twice as many people as it used to, yet it recovers in just half the time.
30% of nonagenarians and 12% of octogenarians suffer from senile dementia. In other words, if there are more senior citizens today than there were a century ago, these seniors are frequently depressed. Our ignorance of the pathophysiology, mechanism of development, of many diseases is a major contributor to this scenario. On a practical level, it is regrettable that our ignorance of the mechanisms underlying the origin of these different emotions has consequences. We are unable to avoid certain illnesses, and when they do occur, our treatments are either ineffective, not effective enough, or only seldom beneficial. It would be good to focus on the causes, etiological treatment, which would be very helpful as we currently simply treat the symptoms, which has variable or ineffective results.
The pathogenic insufficiency that results in therapeutic unhappiness irritates the doctor greatly. This ongoing irritation eventually prompted us to wonder, how is it that despite significant advancements in many areas, we still cannot explain the mechanism of so many diseases? The most logical response was, the intricacy of medicine has forced elite researchers and the majority of physicians to specialize in ever narrower fields. From that point forward, individuals only have a partial understanding of a diseased state. They are unable to develop a comprehensive understanding of the issue due to their incomplete view.